Hey YouTube, this is Fisherman Brian here again, and today I'm going to give you a deck profile video. And today's deck profile will be my first place expanded format League Challenge Trevenant BREAK deck. Alright, and to prove that I came first place, here is my first place promo card that I received. This is Lucario from Fates Collide, and as you can see it says first place right in the corner. Yeah, this is just a cool card all around, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, to talk about the tournament before I get to the deck, it was a 12-man entry, which may not seem like a lot, which I mean it kinda isn't, but it's not like terrible. But to reiterate, like I have said in my past videos, is that the roster for these tournaments, at least in my locals, there actually are some pretty good players. Like there's some state toppers and regional toppers and even state champions. So I definitely had some competition against me. So don't just shrug it off as just a, a scrubby 12-man tourney. So yeah. Just to go off more about the tournament, my matchups, my first round, it was best of 1, 4 rounds. So let's get that out of the way. My first round was a Mega Gardevoir deck. That was the fairy version, not the psychic, like that just came out. Or the dual type that just came out, and I beat them. And then the second round, it was actually a weird combination of Pokemon that I haven't seen before. And again, I'm only 6 months into the game playing competitively, so this may be a thing that other people have seen before, but I haven't. And it was Machamp EX with Zoroark and Ariados. So yeah, which actually put up a really good fight against me, and the Machamp EX is so high HP, it really made me worried on how I was gonna knock it out fast, this deck is super slow, but I ended up winning anyway because he couldn't get the Zoroark out, in which I'm weak to Dark, which thank God, because I probably would have lost just because of that. But yeah, I ended up winning. The third round, I faced against a Dark Turbo deck, and that was a really intense game. Like it came down to the wire. And just to give a quick shout out, my buddies at Rare Candy, that's another YouTube channel. They do some really cool videos, and they upload often. It's my buddies Eric and Marcus, and they do some cool deck profile videos, product openings, and they talk about some, some Theorymon, like in case like you don't know what that is if they might talk about cards that might make an impact, or some decks that might make an impact in the future, or some cool text that they like to talk about. So definitely check them out. Their name is Rare Candy. So yeah, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, and they're from Myrtle Beach. So Eric and Marcus came down at our league challenge to play, and that was really cool. And what's cool about that is that Eric, he actually recorded a match from each round, and I was the third round that he recorded, and he is putting up the videos soon. I don't know if he has already, and it's the my Trevenant deck versus the Dark Turbo deck again, and I ended up winning, but it's a really intense match, and I'll definitely check it out. In my fourth round, so I was 3-0, my fourth round, it was against Greninja with Talonflame, and that was against my buddy Patrick, and he ended up winning because I ended up decking out at the end. Like I was in a pretty good I guess I had a really good board, but I just didn't have enough cards in my deck. Even with Super Rod, I just decked out, and he ended up winning. So, and plus he had a really good board too. But yeah, that's just how it happened. But I ended up coming first anyway because I had a better resistance than everybody else. So yep, and so yeah, let's get to the deck profile. All right, first off, I ran 4 Phantom. Phantom has the attack called Ascension, where basically for 1 colorless energy, you grab a Trevenant from your deck and slap them straight on top of them. So yeah, just automatically evolve, which is great. And then I ran 4 of Trevenant from XY with the Forest Curse ability, which this ability says that as long as he's active, your opponent can't play any items cards, but you can. And this is the heart of the deck. Like, like you need to be running 4 of these guys, at least in expanded. In standard format, I ran the other Trevenant, like I said in my other video that I came first in. But for expanded, definitely a focus on the item lock. So yeah. And then I ran 3 Trevenant BREAK. And Trevenant BREAK, all he's really useful for is the extra HP boost. It's like an extra 50 HP. And Silent Fear, when you attack with it, it does, you just put 3 damage counters on all of your opponent's Pokemon. Which is really good. I mean, you know, that's kind of like a low attack, but over time, it knocks out a lot of cards that are like just chilling on the bench. And then I ran 2 Shaman EX, just to help set up my turn 1 item lock with Trevenant. And then, since we're in expanded, I played 1 Jirachi EX. And if you don't know what this card does, it says when you put them onto the bench from your hand, you automatically search your deck for 1 supporter and then shuffle your deck afterwards. So this is a really detrimental card when you're searching out your Wally to help you get turn 1 item lock. And then with my stadiums, I ran 4 Dimension Valley. So the reason why I ran 4 was in case I was going against a stadium war, like if I was facing Mega Ray, I got rid of those Sky Fields, or, you know, if I was facing Greninja, which I did, he ran 3 Rough Seas, which is so good against Trevenant. Because it heals the 30 damage, like the 3 damage counters that you put on their turn. So, yeah, this knocked out a couple of those whenever I was facing against Patrick at round 4. But yeah, I ran 4 of these. And then for my supporters, I ran 3 Professor Sycamore. I found 4 to be too much because you really don't want a lot of your cards in the discard pile. And since I've had the problem where I've decked out, I think running a 4th one would really be a really bad hindrance. So yeah, 3 was a perfect number for me. And then I ran 2 Wally. And to be honest, guys, Wally is probably the most important supporter in this deck. And to reiterate what it does is that when you play it, you automatically search your deck for a Pokemon that would evolve onto one of your other Pokemon, and it just immediately evolves onto it. You can do this turn 1, like on your turn, you're going first in the whole game. So just doing that turn 1 item lock with Trevenant is so good. And especially when you're when you're playing in a tournament where it's just a best of 1 of. So basically, if you won the coin flip, you have a really high chance of winning that round. So yeah. And then I ran 1 in, just for extra draw support. And then since we're in expanded, I ran 1 Xerosic. Xerosic says you can knock off a special energy or a tool card off any of your opponent's Pokemon, which is really great. So yeah, but in hindsight, to be honest, guys, I wish I played a Team Flare Grunt instead, because I faced a lot of decks that ran just basic energies instead of special energies. So I think that would have came in clutch a whole lot more than this, but whatever, it worked anyway. And then I ran 1 Lysander. And then I ran 1 Getsis, and this is an expanded format card as well. And what it says, in case you don't know, it says your opponent reveals his or her hand and shuffles all item cards found there into his or her deck. Then draw a number of cards equal to the number of item cards your opponent shuffled into his or her deck. This card was super trolly, to be honest. Since you're item locking your opponent, they're going to have a lot of items in their hand because they can't play them. So shuffling them back into their deck and then having them redraw them while you're actually drawing off that, it's a really good card with Trevenant. I really wouldn't recommend this card in any other decks that don't do item lock, but for decks that do, like Toad, this, or something with Vileplume, this is really good. And this is actually my last supporter too. And then now for the items, I ran 4 Trainer's Mail. This is just for consistency, just to get a turn 1 Trevenant. And then I ran 4 Versus Seeker. And this is pretty much a staple lineup in any deck, just to help bring your supporters back from your discard pile. And then I ran 4 Bursting Balloon, just to do the extra 60 whenever they're attacking. And that comes in really clutch, since you're not really attacking for high damage. Just doing the extra 60 between a turn really comes in handy. And then I ran 4 Ultra Ball, which is another staple setup for any deck, really, pretty much. And then for my 2-ofs, I ran 2 Level Ball. And Level Ball was played to search out my Phantoms and also that one Jirachi EX, because its HP is 90, and Level Ball searches any Pokemon that's 90 HP or less. So it was right on the line, but yeah, just to help get that turn 1 Wally, I actually in one match I did have to use Level Ball, search the Jirachi, then use the Jirachi to get the Wally. It's just a really good combo, and I'm glad I ran 2 of these. And then to go along with the Versus Seekers, I ran 2 Battle Compressor. And this isn't a card that you typically see in Trevenant decks, but it combos off really well with Versus Seeker whenever you're ditching your 1-of supporters. And one of those supporters that you can ditch turn 1 actually is Wally. And it's just another way of getting the turn 1 Trevenant. So if you play this, get the Wally down in your discard, and you have a Versus Seeker in hand, you're like, oh, thank you. And you just grab the Wally from your discard with the Versus Seeker, and then you play it, get the turn 1 Trevenant. It's just so good. And this card really speeds up the deck, because this is a really slow deck again. So yeah. And then for my 1-ofs, I ran 1 Escape Rope, 1 Super Rod, and this was used just to help prevent decking out. And but the sad thing is I did round 4, but yeah, it's really good in case you Ultra Ball away or Sycamore away your energies or something, like another Pokemon that you need. And then I ran 1 red card. And just to kind of slow down the video for just a second, this card is super good. And what it says is your opponent shuffles his or her hand into his or her deck and then draws 4 cards. And if you play this card turn 1, it pretty much for the most part, it knocks your opponent's hand down, at least 1 or 2 cards, which can be really good in your favor. In case you need to, if you shuffle away like their 1 supporter or their 1 key item that they're banking on. So yeah, and especially when you're playing item lock and they keep drawing all the items, you just play this card to shuffle the items back into their deck. So they keep redrawing them again. This card is so good. And actually, one of my opponents, I believe it was my second opponent, the Machamp player, he said hands down that this red card is what did it and what got me the game. So yeah, I'm glad I ran it. It's super good. And then since we're in expanded, I did play the 1 computer search A-spec item. And in case you guys don't know what this does, you just discard 2 cards from your hand and search your deck for any card in your deck. So this is another way to get the Wally that you need for turn 1. Or if you're in a Stadium War, which I did use this to get a Dimension Valley to knock off a Rough Seas when I faced Greninja. But yeah, this card's so good. It is super good. but I only ran one. And then to finish off the deck profile, I ran 9 psychic basic energies. I didn't run any of the special energies because there's really no point to me doing it. Which, I mean, I know it gives your psychic Pokemon a 2 less retreat, but I mean, that's not really a big deal. And plus, I wasn't playing Wobbuffet in this deck like I did in my standard profile from the last standard profile. So it didn't give any of my Pokemon a free retreat. And since I was playing an expanded, I knew that there was cards that said that they couldn't be attacked by anything that special energies, and then I was going to go against the Rosig and possibly like a enhanced hammer or something like that would just knock it off anyway. So I just found out that just running basic energies and expanded would just be the best option. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I explained myself clearly on my choices. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, definitely. It would kind of encourage me to make more videos, and I know it's been a little while since I have. I've just been really busy, you know, with a baby and work and everything. So yeah, sorry for that. I do plan on making some videos based on like theory. Like it wouldn't, not necessarily any more deck profile videos like anytime soon, but I'm thinking of talking about some videos about some certain cards that might make a big impact, that are kind of being overshadowed. So yeah. Oh, to go over one thing, I did win $25 for credit, and what I did grab with that was a Primal Groudon set. Like I got 1 Primal Groudon EX, 2 Groudon EX Full Arts, and then 2 Groudon Spirit Links. I've been eyeballing these things for like a long time, and they've been sitting in my local shop's singles binder for like forever. So I finally, you know, I just had the money to blow, the credit to blow, and I was just like, alright, I'll just pick these up. And because I do have a really cool idea for Primal Groudon on this new standard format, and hopefully you will see a deck profile video for this in the near future, and it will say first place. Hopefully, I mean, you know, if the stars align, it'll be that way. So we will see. But yeah, again, thanks guys for watching. Please check out my buddy's YouTube channel, Rare Candy, to see that 3rd round League Challenge battle. It's me versus Justin, so it's Trevenant BREAK versus Dark Turbo. It's really intense. Definitely check it out. Give those guys a like and subscribe too. They're really awesome guys. They put up some really good quality videos. Yep. See you guys. Bye.